go outside.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to be here and see so many people come in and being interested in a healthy lifestyle and raw foods, and such a powerful and well-known topic, I would say now. And I also know that most of you are here for the first time, because I've noticed when Rado asked at the beginning that, so who's here for the first time? Okay, thank you. So I'm going to tell you, my presentation is a bit different to many presentations. I'm not going to bother, bore you with my sentences or anything. I'm going to run pictures instead, so you can feel how we live, and we're going to share a little bit of our story. And then I would like to open kind of a workshop, because we want to be a service to you. So we are very interested in you and why you came here today, what questions you've got, and we will try and kind of answer all your questions if we know, because we don't know everything obviously. But from my introduction, you may pick up some maybe things or topics which may kind of be of interest of you. So we are a family of 4. We've got 2 small kids. Eliška sitting here. She's 4, and I've got little Thomas. He's 2, and we haven't been like raw foodies for a long time. It's just over 2 years, and we are not even 100% raw foodists. So we still enjoy occasionally like coffee and piece of bread with butter or something. So, but I would say that it doesn't matter about the percentage. As well as you are happy and you can actually feel that your body is resonating with your mind. So it doesn't, because people are always asking, what's the percentage, what's the right percentage about raw food? You've got the answer in you. Once you try, so then you would know the answer, but you have to try first to actually answer this question. So originally we come from Czech Republic. We've been living in England for 10 years, and we are newbies in Australia because we moved a year and a half ago, so we are very new. And so we actually this is from Ecuador. And we actually picked Central Coast. We thought we were going to like Central Coast. We did. It was beautiful. We stayed for 4 months, and then we just, it's time to move again. So we actually traveled up to Sunshine Coast, and we made a few stops, and Australia is a beautiful, magnificent country. And we actually end up Sunshine Coast, stayed for a while, and it wasn't that what we expected, so we went back and settled in Lennox Head. So we like it there. We've been there for a year now, and we are enjoying very much, especially the nature and the beaches. So Michael, we both used to work in London, and I used to work for National Health Services as a consultant in public health medicine. I commissioned cancer screening programs, and it was great work. I really enjoyed, but then I felt that it doesn't resonate with me, and that actually some things I cannot kind of pass on to others because I didn't believe in it anymore. Michael, he used to work. He's an ex-banker and ex-solicitor or lawyer, I would say, because now we are full-time parents, so we quit our jobs in London. And after our ayahuasca retreat, or I don't know, have you heard about ayahuasca? Ayahuasca, yeah. Ayahuasca is a plant which grows in Ecuador or Amazon forest, and it does contain dimethyltryptamine, DMT, which you can find in LSD, for example, but it's not a drug. Okay, it's a plant which would you cook a brew and you drink it under supervision of a shaman, and then it would give you visions. It would open your heart if you let I call it entity. Because you can speak to this entity, you can have as many questions as you can, and it would give you it would help to unfold the answer within you, because all your answers are within you anyway. But we just cannot find it sometimes, So this actually beautiful retreat actually helped both of us. Michael went in 2010, I went in 2012. I already had Eliška, and Michael can tell you a different maybe story, but my story was that I went and it was such a life-changing experience for me that I was amazed, and I came back and I said, well, I cannot live the life I'm living. I need to change something. And the civilization just hit me back, you know, coming to London from pure forest. It was just, oh my God. Since then, I'm very sensitive coming to cities, and even today I suffer with a big migraine, so I'm so sensitive. So I do apologize if I'm not as vibrant as normally. Anyway, so then I felt pregnant immediately with Thomas, and I had an orgasmic home birth. Have you ever heard about orgasmic home birth? Yeah, so it's basically a labor when you experience orgasm. Okay, and I've heard about it, you know, but I've never kind of imagined that I can actually experience it. And Eliška was born in birth center, so I've never kind of went to a hospital to have my children. And it was such a kind of, so that time, in 2012, we already changed our diet. So we quit up meat, so we actually changed gradually. So it wasn't that we decided and overnight we would be like raw food is anything. So we actually started like gradually.
Sorry, can you turn your microphone?
Can you hear me now?
I don't know, no, it's too late. It's not picking it up very well.
Yeah? Now? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll try. So we already changed the diet before Thomas was born, and it wasn't a dramatic change, but we quit like meat. And then I actually I worked with my breath, and like I was singing while having contractions. And then one moment when I was lying down before I delivered, so I just experienced like orgasm. It was so kind of powerful. And then the midwife would tell me, okay, now you are ready to deliver, so go on your fourth, you know, and just deliver. And I said, okay, but it's such a nice, you know. Anyway, he came, and we were blessed with him, and it was such a. And then I actually started like loving myself truly. Like I was like, oh, thank you, buddy, thank you. You know, it was such a powerful experience. Really, it was amazing. And since then, I just the body gave me the real sign, like, okay, meat is okay, but dairy, you know, this, and just quit this and that, you know. So I bought all the equipment, you know, and luckily Michael felt the same, you know. He's into fasting, so he was like, okay, I'm gonna wait, you know, and see the benefits you've got before I actually do something. I said, okay, so I bought a blender, and that's what just the blender and juicer. And I bought a juicer, and I just started gradually. It was just me, and I didn't force it on Eliška at that time. And I could feel like, you know, I lost weight, and, you know, my skin was glowing, and my eyes were clearer, you know, and my hair started growing more quickly and gradually, and nails and everything. And so I just said, that's great, you know. And I felt really like energetic as well. And having like a newborn and 2-year-old toddler, I needed an energy, you know, to kind of look after them, and I had this energy. And so then Michael joined me, and which is great if you can both do it, if you've got a partner or something and you support each other. It's so important. And then and that time we already knew that we're going to be moving to Australia. So we decided to move to Australia to change our lifestyle. Michael, when Thomas was born, he quit his job as well, and he just wanted to be with his family and support me as a mother of 2 kids, and I really appreciate it. And so we were working for our permanent residency in Australia. We got the permanent residency, and then we packed and we went. We left London after 10 years, and is on the plane, and Thomas, he was about 8 months old at that time, and Eliška, she was 2.5, and it was such a fun. And then we end up on Centre Coast. We stayed in a motel for a month, and then we tried to find an accommodation, and it was just great. And then this is our way to Sunshine Coast, Noosa, and It was beautiful, but very kind of commercial for us and very touristy. So we went back there. This is from Fiji, and then we just now we live what we feel. So if somebody asks me, okay, well, what are you going to do next year? Are you going, to Europe or to see your parents or something like that? We don't know. Whatever our heart or instinct would tell us. So now we actually, because we quit our job, so many of you may go like, okay, what do you do? How you sustain yourself? So we actually find a way, and which is trading. So we trade commodities and shares. And because Michael, he's got financial background, and I studied MBA and stuff, so I don't want to say it's the advantage, but if you've got such a kind of background, so then the learning progress may be a bit quicker. Anyone can do it if you are emotionally strong, because it's such a demanding job, like trading. You have to learn it, or you have to kind of. Yeah, it's not easier, this is what I want to say. But anyway, it gives us the freedom. So now we decided to travel the world. So we would go and stay in Bali and Fiji and Thailand, like the countries here. I don't want to say that we became millionaires or anything. It's not our aim. Our main goal is to be with our kids while they need us. If obviously they're going to be much bigger, more independent, so then we can do more for the society again. But now it gives us the freedom, so it's not like that we can afford to buy a house or something, It's not like that. So the universe is just giving us what we need at this time, and which is great, and we resonate with it, and we don't want more. So now there was like the introduction. I think I probably said the most important things, like that we travel, and I may also say that we helped people like changing their lifestyle and their diet, including our parents with cancer and diabetes type 2, and they all their health improved dramatically, and the doctors, they don't know what they did, and they were kind of angry that they withdraw their medications and stuff. And it's just, for us, it's just normal, that if you really decide that you want to change something, it's not the rocket science, it's not complicated. You just need to kind of eat plant-based food. That's it. That's it. You don't even have to be like 100% raw foodist. But saying that, if you really suffer from a serious health problem, such as liver cancer or any types of cancer or autoimmune disease like diabetes type 1, so then I believe, and what I've seen, like changing to, or if you juice, like the glycerin therapy is great, or for cancer as well, so then it would be such a dramatic change, would actually speed the healing process, like changing like dramatically and overnight. If you are kind of normal person who suffering from kind of high blood pressure or not like very serious type of disease, you can change gradually and you can enjoy it. It's not about like switching and, oh, I cannot eat this anymore, or I cannot, I was called cheese queen. I loved cheese. I enjoyed cheese on a daily basis. Now I haven't touched cheese for so long. I don't want to say that for 3 years I haven't touched cheese, because it's not true. Normally, if I crave cheese, I would go and just have a piece or something, if I visit somebody and they've got a cheese on the table. But I don't crave it that much as I did, so it's about enjoying the transition. It's not about like suffering, because if you suffer, if you don't feel that you are enjoying, so then it's no point, like, you want to be happy, you don't want to suffer. So in my presentation, we do like kind of retreats, but we don't charge people anything. So you can just come, and we do swap trade. You offer me, okay, I can take your kids, and to playground, and okay, I'll teach you how to do juice, and you can stay with us in our house, and if it helps you, we are happy. So it's about like kind of exchanging the energy and exchanging the knowledge and experience, and because it's not us who actually heals you, it's the pear or the banana. So it's not us. So I don't feel like charging anyone for anything. So for example, my mum, she's got a liver cancer and she always had a problem with iron deficiency. And after staying with us for 6 weeks with my dad, her blood improved. She's not iron deficient anymore. She became vegetarian. She cook her food, but she enjoys like...
Excuse me, I'll just click that. She enjoys?
Yeah, she enjoys, yeah.
Sorry, I'll just...
Yeah, sorry. But she enjoys her cooked food as well, but she totally changed the way how she cooks now. So she's more gentle. She steams instead of cooking or, you know, like baking. And I would tell you that even people who are really kind of seriously ill and they are not ready to change anything, you know, they put their health and the responsibility to the doctors who they don't know them, and they would just say, okay, this is our medical protocol, you know, I did it, I know, this is the medical protocol we need to follow, and then we'll see. But they are not ready. So although you tell them, okay, if you change this or that or that or that, they wouldn't do it, and it's just the waste of energy. And so you need to be very motivated, and you really want to do the change. So now I would like to ask you why you came, what your problems maybe are, or we can, Michael is not here because he's more the finance guy and the lawyer guy, and I'm more about the health because I've got, you know, the medical background. But if you've got any question about the ayahuasca, or we want to know why you came and what kind of questions you've got at the moment in your lives. So for example, you can ask me, Eva, I don't know, can I do this if I got diabetes type 2? What would you offer, you know? What shall I eat? Or what do you eat in a day? Or what do you give to your kids? Or whatever, you know? So just ask me and I'll try and answer your questions, rather than like sitting here and just, you know, listening. And I want like interaction, and I want to learn more about the group, about you. So please. Yes.
How do you feel about raw milk?
Raw milk?
Unpasteurised. There was a bit of controversy in the media regarding unpasteurised milk.
Mm-hmm.
What is your take on that?
Mm-hmm. Well, there are like controversial. Well, according to science, you know, the milk is not that good anymore, you know. But in the past, milk contains calcium and everything. From my point of view, I don't care about the science anymore. I just test on myself and on my family, if I can say it like that. It's terrible, maybe, I don't know. And what I see, raw milk is definitely better than the pasteurized milk. But I cannot see in the animal world that, for example, cow would drink the milk from, you know, cat or goat, or, you know, you cannot see it. So why we should, as a human beings, like drink the cow's milk? That's my first kind of problem. And the second, like how they treat the cows. You know, if you've got a cow and you've got your own raw milk, I cannot see the problem unless your body would tell you, give you the sign, don't do it because I don't like it, rashes, you know, eczema, you know, spotty skin, or a lot of like runny nose, mucus in your body. So then I would stop. But if, you know, you are fine, so then raw milk is much better from good source. It's much better than the pasteurized milk. We don't drink milk, we don't eat yogurt, we are dairy free except eggs. I give kids eggs, like the home eggs. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With your range of diet, do you have the need to take vitamins as well?
Yeah. It's another common question, like supplements. No, we don't take supplements because we are. Because, for example, the main problem with raw food lifestyle is B12. And sometimes it's calcium, depends, you know, the kids, they've got different, so are you asking about the adults or kids or?
Oh, adults.
Adults, okay. So let's like vitamin B12, because if you quit meat, you know, the vitamin B is in there. I would say that vitamin B12 actually can be stored in your body for a long time. So it doesn't, the deficiency wouldn't take overnight, you know. So you've got like plenty of time until you kind of are B12 deficient. However, it's very important vitamin, so I wouldn't take the risk. I would say if you are like transitioning, don't, you know, just, you don't have to care about vitamin B12 probably, unless you know that you are already deficient, you know. But just enjoy the journey, you know, and in 2 years' time or maybe in a year, just go and check your blood. You know, it's simple like that. If you check your blood and then they say, okay, you are B12 deficient, so then take a supplement, or, you know, but you can actually sustain yourself on raw food diet and not being, without being B12 deficient. There are certain plants where containing B12. I wouldn't kind of rely on them unless you eat them like on daily basis. But for example, nutritional yeast, which I use, for example, for making raw cheese, you know, so then it's fortified with B12.
What did you say, what do you use?
Nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast.
To make cheese?
To make cheese, yeah. So cashew nuts with nutritional yeast and a bit of tamari, and I blend it up and put probiotics to grow. So the cheese would grow, and I leave it for 24 hours, and then you've got beautiful cheese.
So cashew milk cheese.
Yeah. Australians, no matter what, most of them are vitamin D deficient. 40%, although, you know, the climate and stuff, 40% of Australians are vitamin D deficient.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Sunscreen.
Yeah, sunscreen.
Australians are very heavy with sunscreen.
Yeah.
Being indoctrinated to sunscreen.
Yeah, so vitamin D, what we do, we don't use like the commercial sun lotion, so I make sure that the kids, they are naked, and normally we don't go unless we travel somewhere. We don't go to the sun during lunchtime between 12 and 2 or something, yeah, 11 to 2. And I on my website you can find like the natural sunscreen oil with the factor of 15. So you can make it at home. And we use, like normally, we use coconut oil for anything, for everything, for our hair, for our skin. And coconut oil, for example, has like the factor of 5, like naturally. So you can use it wherever you go, unless you go on a holiday. So then I wouldn't rely only on coconut oil, because you will burn yourself. But vitamin D is more, you know, it's, yeah.
Can I have a little close?
Yeah, yeah.
I've always been very suspicious of petrochemical creams that you know, powers that be created for us. So I've never used sunscreen. The Aborigines never used sunscreen. I really don't think we need to be worried about it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think
the best sun protection is clothes. I would say, you know.
I don't think, personally, my own personal feeling is that cancer, the sun doesn't cause.
Oh yeah, the sun is the source. We are light beings, and I can even tell you that the food is sun food, because it grows from sun. Yeah, the sun is not harmful.
No, that's right. People get skin cancer.
Yeah, they blame the sun. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Something else.
yeah, that's true. Yes. So vitamin D, B12, calcium. Some people, you know, would say, "Oh, where do you get calcium from?" From milk, but nut milk. For example, almond milk is a great source of calcium. Poppy seed milk is a great source of calcium. Chia seeds are a great source of calcium. So if you make chia seed pudding in the morning with almond milk, you know, voila. Calcium, and obviously leafy green vegetables. Parsley, good for iron as well. So if you drink green smoothies or green juices on a daily basis, you should be fine. Protein, you know, you mentioned protein. I think I don't have to talk about protein, right? Yeah. Right. So
Bean juices or bean smoothie. What's bean juices?
bean?
Yeah, what you said, bean?
No, leafy green vegetables.
green
Yeah.
juices.
So kale, spinach, rockets. I even do grape juice is from the watermelon skin. It's actually more nutritiously rich than the red part, you know, the skin. So I make the juice, but organic, you know. Organic is very important. Organic is very important if you are on a raw food diet.
What are you wrapping those in?
Yeah, so this is nori sheets.
Nori sheets.
Yeah, nori sheets, and I just make like cashew dip. I spread, or avocado dip, and I spread over, and I cut cucumbers and red bell peppers and some sprouts on the top. Sunflower sprouts are beautiful. Do you want to say something about yourself? No.
So you'll give us your website?
Yeah, raweva.com. Raweva.com. Yeah, you can find the recipes there as well, and many articles.
You mentioned before that sometimes you do different considerations for your children. I was just wondering how that affects their diet, their children. What's different to your food intake?
Yeah, so me and Michael, we are like mainly highly, you know, on the raw food. So, but kids normally, if you are their like role model, what do you eat? They would normally eat. If there is no junk in the house, they don't have a chance, you know. But obviously we are living in a social world, and the kids, they go somewhere, you know, with they see many other kids eating something else. So we are like the parents who wouldn't force our own journey on them, like saying, okay, if there is a cracker here, and Eliška would say, oh, I want a cracker, you know, mummy, and I'll say, well, I would normally say, okay, Ellie, you can have it, just, you know, taste it. If you like it, okay, have another one, you know. But it's not the thing we eat normally, and your stomach can, or you can have some problems. So after eating like sausage, Ellie, what happened when you ate sausage? You know, she was sick. She would still crave sausage, and I'm not like. I love my kids, you know. I know that sausage is all good for them, you know. But it's like, okay, if you want a piece of sausage, okay. So we go to the market, you know. We have a organic meat, you know, sausage, and so this is our way how we perceive, you know. That I respect any kind of whatever, you know, you do with your kids. It's fine, you know. You are the parent, you are responsible. That's totally fine. In terms of the nutritional needs for kids, it's different because they need more fat, you know. So they love coconut, young coconut. So they love the flesh, they love the water. So I buy 2 boxes of coconuts per week. So we eat 18 coconuts per week, and they love it. And I know that they get loads of kind of good fat in their bodies. So.
Will you buy boxes of coconuts?
Yeah, I've got a good source in Byron Bay. Can give you, because they actually, you know, I'm not sure. Yeah, so I pay $2 per coconut, Thai, organically grow coconut in Thailand. Obviously, they are dipped here, you know, in Australia. But the guy who owns the company, he's actually trying to find the dipping solution, like the chemical. So, because they dip them, you know, in a chemical solution to keep them white, the shell to keep it white. But I've tried to research how many chemicals actually goes into the flesh and in the water, and it's almost none. So it's kind of.
They use chemical to keep the outside white.
Yes, because they normally the coconut is green.
Green.
Yeah. So they cut the green skin to make it lighter for the shipment, and when it goes to Australia, they've got very strict immigration rules. So they dip actually the coconut not to protect it from mold, for example, as well as to keep the skin white, so it looks nice.
Would that affect the coconut though? Because the coconut has a hard shell.
It does have a hard shell, so that's the thing I said.
So it doesn't really affect.
It doesn't. No. The flesh and the water. It doesn't really affect it. Yeah.
You mentioned obviously. Can you please tell me about that?
About what?
Poppy seed milk.
Yeah, poppy seed.
Never heard of that.
No, poppy seed. Yeah, it's very typical for Czech and Slovakian people to eat poppy seeds. Poppy seeds are a great source of calcium, and it's a bit of opium as well for kids if you want them to sleep. But no, we don't give like poppy seeds to our kids. But yeah, the poppy seed milk is very good source of calcium. It's probably not as tasty as almond milk. I love almond milk. So you take the poppy seeds, you soak them, and then you just blend them with water, and you take you get the strainer, the nut milk bag, and you just strain it, and you've got the milk. You can sweeten it with a date, with a pitted date, and the ratio would be 1 cup to 3 cups, let's say, depending how rich with any nut milk or seed milk, this ratio. Mm-hmm.
Are you into sprouts? Do you do any sprouts?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
What about broccoli sprouts?
Broccoli?
Broccoli sprouts. Do you sprout broccoli sprouts?
Broccoli. Yeah, broccoli sprouts.
Broccoli sprouts are
Yeah.
the most nutrient dense.
Yeah, we do sprouting. We've tried broccoli sprouts once, but we really go for the sprouts we really like. There are sprouts we've got different taste buds, so what I like, you may not like, or you may not like. But we do sprouting, and we enjoy alfalfa sprouts. And yeah, in general, sprouts are very like nutritious. So it's great to add sprouts into your smoothies, morning smoothies, or sprinkle it on the salads. Or if I cook soup, vegetable soup for kids, I always like cut it very tiny, and I just put it in the soup, the sprouts. It's very easy. You just need a jar. Yeah, for those of you who are into or who are not into sprouting yet, but it's very easy. You take any seed, or let's say alfalfa or sunflower seed, and then you put it in a jar. Doesn't need to be like a sprouting jar, just a jar, and you cover it with water. And then the next day you take the water out, and just make sure that all the water is actually it's kind of dry, and you just leave it until it actually sprouts. And then when the sprout is that big, then you can just eat it. Yeah, don't leave it too long, because otherwise it's bitter. But otherwise it's sweet. It's kind of sweet. Mm-hmm.
I noticed in a few of your images you had frangipani. So are they edible, or is that just for appearance? The frangipani.
The frangipani, yeah.
Can you eat that?
Yeah, we got them in front of our house, and I don't eat them.
No.
Yeah, I just decorate my raw cakes. I just decorate the cakes which I make for local cafes and raw cakes.
You mentioned before about a retreat, or do you run a retreat?
Well, it's not like a retreat. We just started like because we started with our parents, with ourselves, with my kids, and now with parents, my parents and Michael's parents, and so we just said, well, we've got a big house now, with 2 guest rooms, so why don't actually share this kind of knowledge or experience with others. So I've just announced an offer last week, saying, okay, whoever can come, just write us your story and what you can offer back, not money, just whatever. And from any, it doesn't need to be people from Australia if you have money to cover your flight, obviously. And we received like maybe 70 applications, and we already chosen 2 families, so single mothers with their kid, and with a like interesting story. And yeah, so they're gonna come for 4 weeks, because if you want to kind of break a pattern or habit, you need at least 21 days, at least 3 weeks. So they're gonna be coming either for 25 days, or depending on their kind of the arrangements, but at least 3 weeks we offered. They can come and stay with us, and they can learn. They can just be with us, that's it, and they can ask any question like you, and we can just share them. Thank you. So they can have a breakfast with us, and lunch, and everything, and traveling.
What would you say a typical day's routine?
Okay, so we would wake up when the kids wake up, not earlier. And then we would have kind of breakfast, but we don't eat that we have to eat, we only eat when we are hungry. So I would ask kids, are you hungry? If they say no, so then they would be running around, for another hour until they tell me I'm hungry. So we would normally have a green smoothie in the morning, and then I would make chia pudding or steel cut oats, which I soak overnight, and I would add like grated apple with a bit of honey or coconut nectar, and with cinnamon, for example, chia pudding with soaked in almond milk, and so whatever, or we would just grab bananas and apples and go to the beach. So it really depends. So there would be like breakfast, but mainly kind of fruit for breakfast. I'm a fruity person, I love fruit, so I mainly eat fruit. So then for lunch, if we are outside, so then we would just buy more fruit or cucumber and tomatoes and carrots, and kids they love it. If we are at home, I would normally cook some, for example, I would cook carrots and pumpkin. I'm talking about the kids now, and then I would add inner water, and then I would add amaranth, which is great source of iron, and quinoa, and then I would just cook it for maybe 5-7 minutes, and then add fresh kale and spinach and hemp seed, and just blend it, and it would be kind of soup for them, and they would eat it. So I make sure that they've got all the, because although you cook, and it's not like that you cook the carrot for 20 minutes, it is still nutritious. You wouldn't kill all the nutrients. It's not my kind of, I don't think so. So this is, and for us we would make salad, or I make those wraps or raw pizza, and so we've got a dehydrator, and so we dehydrate like pizza base, and you can do amazing things. However, we don't use like dehydrator that often, because you dehydrate the food and it's time consuming, so we want to make it simple. So we would just make a salad with good dressings are important. So if you can learn good dressings, so then you can eat any vegetables. But leafy greens for lunch, and before we eat like leafy greens, we've got fruit, because it's fruit, you digest fruit more quickly. So then we've got some, or even like green smoothie afterwards, whatever. But some greens. Then in the afternoon, more fruit. We don't eat nuts that much. And then in the evening, kids, they would ask for bread and butter. So I would give them like organic bread with butter, rye bread with butter, and then I would cut chives or spring onion and put it on the top, and then some tomatoes, cucumbers, and so make it like nice and appealing to them. And Michael and I, sometimes we don't eat, or we've got 2 coconuts and that's it. So, but it depends. It changes. When we travel, it's if we go to like when we went to Fiji, like 2 weeks ago, we stayed in a typical resort, and they had so limited food for us, like fruits and vegetables. So we had to ask for more and more and more, and then. Kids, they ate chips, and they had fish, and so we got sick after 5 days of eating that. But it's alive. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. But if you eat most of the year like this, your body will deal with it. Or you can do the detox afterwards. It's kind of, if your body is healthy, you are detoxing on a daily basis. You don't need a detox or a heavy detox. But yeah. So.
Someone told me it's a saying once, and it goes, it's not what you eat.
It's what you digest.
No.
Or what you absorb.
It's not what you eat some of the time, it's what you eat most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're out with family or friends, or or something,
I think
you can eat what you don't normally eat.
Yeah,
you don't need to get obsessed about eating 100% raw all the time.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
For us,
happy in life too.
Yeah, absolutely. For us, you are what you absorb, because you can eat the most nutritious food and everything, but if your gut is not healthy, so then the nutrients wouldn't go through and your body wouldn't absorb it. So you need to actually heal your gut first. with like the colon hydrotherapy, or you can, or probiotics, or just fasting. Fasting is the great way how to actually clear your gut first. So I say you are what you absorb or digest. Yeah, sorry.
2 coconuts for dinner.
Yeah.
How did you feed them? How did you prepare?
So you buy a young coconut and you cut the top. You make a big hole, and you shape the top like this, and you cut the hole and you open it. You drink the water and then take out the flesh with a spoon. Sometimes we use the flesh, and I make raw cakes. And sometimes I make smoothies using the coconut flesh and mixing it with like bananas and even greens, so you can make loads of things with coconut flesh. But just be careful, the flesh must be white. If it's a bit kind of pinky or brownish, so then don't eat it, because you may have problems afterwards. There was a question?
Do you have the recipes of those cakes?
Yeah, I've got some recipes on my website. Yeah, I share everything.
Thank you.
For free. No. I do have like a raw parenting brochure ebook, which I sell for $6. And I recently written a Kindle book, which I haven't downloaded on the Kindle yet, on Amazon. Traveling the world with kids, with children. So it's going to be on Amazon. And giving you tips how to travel with kids and how to eat healthy during your travels.
Is the flesh is pink or brown?
Yeah.
What does it?
Yeah. So just it's bad. The coconut, you just throw it away. Yeah. Don't drink the water even. Yeah.
So do you drink the water out of the young coconut?
Yes.
Because I can't drink water out of young coconut. I get it out.
From
I know why.
yeah. It took me, for example, I'll give you an example. When I tasted the young coconut water for the first time, I just said, oh, that's disgusting. It took me some time, like 3 times I had to, and now I love it. Your taste buds will change as well. So give it a try, but it must be like the fresh young coconut, not from the can. Because the water from the can, it tastes different.
And I'm kind of suspecting that a lot of these young coconuts, they're just sitting on the shelf for a long time. For a few months.
Ja nemám any. Yeah, she's asking for juice and I don't have any. Do you have any juice here? Kde je juice? Where's the juice? If you can show Anka Rado the juice, he would serve you. Show Rado. Yes, sorry, I didn't pay attention.
I suspect that those young coconuts, they come on the face of being sitting on the shelf.
What I've noticed is once they actually cut the coconut from the tree, it would take up to 3 months, I think. So including the time period when they have to ship it over. So when I get the young coconut, let's say in February, so then the expiration time is till March. So I assume that until they, once they cut it and ship it and everything, the logistical things, so then up to 3 months. But it needs to be chilled, 2 degrees, preferably. Yeah. If it's not chilled, so then it's a different story.
Coconuts
In the fridge, yeah. In the fridge. I think I had some, the picture of how our fridge looks like.
Yeah, it was all
Yeah, coconuts. Yeah, that's so big, we probably need one additional fridge.
Do you ever get sick of coconuts? Having that?
Kids?
Yeah, like do you?
No. I cannot eat, I cannot drink green smoothies like every day. But coconuts. We had a period of maybe 1 week when we didn't kind of buy a supply. But we miss it. We miss that, yeah. So young coconuts for us. I mean, it works for us.
Do you avoid chemicals in your shampoos?
We don't use any shampoos.
So what do you do?
Yeah, so just water. And if we use shampoo for, so then we use like organic shampoo, and we. When I wash our clothes, I use soap nuts. Do you know soap nuts? Yeah. So we use soap nuts, and we don't have any kind of moisturizing for skin. Just coconut oil, organic coconut oil. That's it. What we use. Occasionally, I would, if there is a sunburn or something, coconut oil or aloe vera gel, and any chemicals. Well, if I clean, because I'm a clean freak. I still occasionally use like chemicals, yeah. So we are not like totally chemical, but we distill our water. So we would use like rainwater or tap water, and we've got a distiller at home. That's me. Yeah, that's you in Fiji. And we distill our water. So we use distilled water, and we put like marine phytoplankton in it, for example. Marine phytoplankton, which is very nutritious. It contains the vitamin B12 as well. Yeah, marine, a few drops in the water, and a colloid silver is great. Colloidal silver. I know. I see. She's saying, Rado doesn't have any money, so I cannot have a juice. Yeah, když skončím, tak si půjdeme na juice, jo? Jo?
Is marine
Marine?
Is it hard to get?
Online, only online. If you Google it, you can find, what's the company called? Pure Sea, I think, Pure Sea, and you can get, but only online. I went to Byron Bay and I tried and find it, in store. I couldn't find it. I started buying marine phytoplankton in England. It was very easy to get, but not here. It's more difficult. Yeah. Yeah, coconut. Marine. M-A-R-I-N-E. Marine. Phytoplankton. Marine. Sorry about my accent. I'm not an English-speaking person.
I don't actually juice yet, but I really want to get into it. And everyone raves about NutriBullets. Do you think
about what?
The NutriBullet to make juices. Do you think they're
like the juice?
It's
juicer?
like a juicer.
Yeah, juicer.
Yeah.
Well, for me personally, my personal choice is the slow juicer, not the centrifugal juicer, because if you juice greens, the centrifugal juicer wouldn't do the job properly, So you want to get the most out of the greens.
Yeah.
If you juice like fruit, so then it's not that big deal. But if you juice leafy greens, vegetables, so then you need. So we've got Omega juicer, which is about $300 here in Australia. Omega, yeah, OMEGA. But there are many kind of juicers. Yeah, when are you stopping talking? In a minute. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The last question. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions?
Oh yeah, one more thing.
Yes.
What about grains? Are you into grains?
Yeah. We do eat grains. For example, amaranth, as I mentioned, we would cook amaranth, and we add it to soups, or we do like mashed potatoes, which is from any vegetables really. It's like pumpkin and carrots, and I add potatoes as well for kids, and I would add amaranth as well. It's a great source of vitamin of iron, and quinoa. We use quinoa, but we quit rice completely, except wild rice. Wild rice is if you soak it, so then you can chew it. It's not hard anymore, so you can eat it like easily. So we sprinkle it or we eat it we mix it with tamari and a bit of garlic. Sometimes, if you like the garlic, if you want to get rid of parasites, for example, garlic is good way. Loads of garlic, I would say. But yeah, wild rice is good. But you need to soak it and sprout it a little bit.
White rice.
Wild rice.
All the nutrients are being taken out of it. White rice.
White rice.
Wild rice. Yeah, wild.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What did you understand?
White.
White. Yeah, yes, yeah, wild. Seriously? Does he want me? Shall we swap? Wait, shall we swap? Okay. We may swap, and Michael can answer the questions then. Mm-hmm.
So you sprout the wild rice.
Wild rice, yeah, wild rice. You can sprout quinoa as well. Yeah. So how many of you are raw foodists already? Mm-hmm. And are you fruitarians or fruitarians? Yeah. And are you 100% on fruits? 100% on fruits. Yeah, I can see in your shape. I've noticed the fruitarians, they look a bit different. Yeah. Any other? How are you on the raw foods already? How many of you? Yeah. Changing. Transitioning. Okay. Any more questions?
What do you do at Christmas?
We don't celebrate.
Yes. No.
We do
Yes.
Christmas almost every day, If you adjust your life, you don't need to celebrate special celebration.
Yeah, we swap.